to prepare for a competitive event, our go-to company is the Army Painter.
Thanks to their complete range of paints, spray cans, and gaming tools, we're able to complete our new armies and units in no time.
When we need to elevate the quality of our models and terrain, the Army Painter is always our first choice.
You may not know this, but the Army Painter has sponsored more competitive events than any other hobby company.
Tournament and wargaming is in their DNA.
Visit thearmypainter.com to learn more about their amazing products.
And use promo code AOWPaints for a 5% discount from your Army Painter purchases.
What are you waiting for? Discover the best way to prepare your models for events with the Army Painter today.
Waaaagghhhhh, everybody, welcome back to another Fix My List Thursday video. And today, of course, we are fixing the greenest boys, the messiest boys, the shiniest boys, the gitziest boys, dem orcs.
Absolutely. New orc book out, new hype, new orc hype, new Waaaagghhhhh.
New Waaaagghhhh, new orc hype energy. We've got plenty of orc games in the warm. We've got plenty of orc games on stream. And now we're going to be fixing them lists.
Now we are going to fix them lists. We got count them, three orc lists from our Discord, Nick. How does that even happen?
How does that happen? Well, it happens from the war room members. How do you become a war room member? Well, you can check out the link below, thewarroom.vhx.tv. Gets you access to all of our amazing content with the Orc games, the Custodes games, and all the other factions in the world, and all kinds of things like Jack theories and strategy sessions, and all these videos center on helping you learn the game and becoming your best. Not only that, though, but you get access to this amazing Discord server, which has the top players in the world and a lot of other community members that are all focused on getting better. And in there is the Discord channel, the magic one, the Fix My List channel, where you, every single week, Jack, will pull lists out of the Fix My List channel that you, as a war room member, can submit. Like, you just copy paste your orc army and then there you go, and then Jack's gonna be like, I like that, and then we fix it, and that's it. That's the process.
It's like you're the little Martian man from Toy Story, and then there's the claw, and you worship the claw, and the claw picks you.
Jack does take bribes.
I do take bribes. I do. I'm not impartial. Who is? You know, at least I don't lie to you about it.
It's true. It's true.
That's right. War Boss Nick, though.
War Boss Nick. We're reclaiming the Waaaagghhhh. That's right. I'm here for the hype. Jack's here for the cut, and you know it's gonna be brutal.
Let's go. All right. So I think first up we got a list. We've got the Orc Dread Mob.
Orc Dread Mob. Very nice. This is from Incinerator. Incinerator is one of our war members, of course. So we've got Boss Snickrot, 2 big mechs in Mega Armor, another mech, 2 trucks, 3 units of Gretchen, 2 units of 5 Mega Knobs. Hint, I think they're going in the trucks.
You think they're going in those trucks?
We got a Death Dread, a Gorkanaut, a unit of 8 Grot tanks, and, you know, a casual 9 Killicans with the clanking claws.
Yeah, you got those clanking claws. So this is a good kind of mix of things, not going all in on the Dread Mob, right? Not going all in on the Orc tanks. You still got Mega Knobs. And why do you put Mega Knobs in lists, Nick?
Well, because when you call the Waaaagghhhhh, which is something every Orc army, even the Dread Mob, gets to do, the Mega Knobs get 4 up no pain on the entire battle round that the Waaaagghhhhh is called. And as I learned yesterday, apparently Mega Knobs hit people mega hard.
They do, in fact, hit people mega hard. Now, the thing to keep in mind here is there are points in the back of the Orc Codex. We're not using those. They're never real, they're never correct until eventually you receive an MFM for them. There are points in the current Minotaur Field Manual. That is what we are using because, as we've seen time and time again, these are written like loads ago.
Who knows when, but
who
like,
knows?
Not yesterday.
Yeah, not yesterday. So generally these books tend to look a lot more like the current Minotaur Field Manual than the actual back of the book.
So we'll use the Minotaur Field Manual points, and if the points, we expect the Minotaur Field Manual for like the April, May, December, late to happen soon. So then I think the Orcs will get their final set, in that set of Minotaur Field Manual updates. But for now, this is what we got.
Absolutely. So the first thing that stands out to me is I don't really know if these Mega Knobs want big mechs in Mega Armor or Mega Armor War Bosses.
Let's talk about like what this list is trying to do as a whole. So we're obviously making use of the 9 Killicans, the Gorkanaut, the 8 Grot tanks, and the Death Dread to make use of our Dread Mob rule. That really buffs our shooting, walker, pew, 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 pew. And to me, it seems like the Mega Knobs and trucks are like a forward pressure, maybe keep people away from combat with your tanks, or just like more threat overload and diversification. So do we want that defense or the offense is the real question there.
So what do you think? Are you thinking offense of Grot vehicles, defense of Mega Knobs, or what are we
I really think, I mean, I like the Big Mech and Mega Armor because it heals a Mega Knob every turn, and it once per game heals modeled D3 wounds, which can be like 5 wounds of value on Mega Knobs. But I think because we have so much firepower in this army, we really want to supplement it with some quality combat.
Yeah, I want to hit people as they come in to try to stop the Grot tanks from doing Grot tank stuff.
So how much is a War Boss in Mega Armor in comparison?
5 points cheaper.
Well, that seems good. That seems easy. Usually you expect the changes to be more.
No. I just want +1 to hit, and then he also comes with a pretty good. He comes with a pretty good melee profile on his own, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, he's damage 3, and then also on the Waaaagghhhhh turn at least, and then hitting on 4s is knotted, especially if your villain has any sort of negative modifier to hit. You're just gonna be so sad at your Mega Knobs, but hitting on 3s, that makes them a real unit.
Yeah, it makes them actually scary, especially outside of the Waaagh, because outside of the Waaagh, they're just not the same unit anymore.
Yeah.
They die much quicker, and they have serious problems like actually killing things with only 2 attacks.
Yeah.
So you really want that +1 to hit to make sure that they connect as hard as possible.
So I think that's a good change we can get behind the War Bosses with the
Sorry,
Mega Knobs.
somebody in chat pointed out that the Big Mech gives the Mega Knobs the mech keywords. They can use the detachment rule. I do forget exactly what buffs you get from the detachment rule. Unfortunately, we left the Codex in the other room. Would you mind going and getting it?
Sure. But I believe it's lethal hits, sustained hits, or extra AP.
Which I believe, on 6s to win, which I believe you can use in combat. So if we can do that, then I would actually be kind of a big fan of the Big Mech and Mega Armor. Didn't think of that. Thank you. New Codex techniques, new Codex strats. Going into the tank line here, I really like the Grot tanks. I think a unit of 8 Grot tanks is really, really solid. They move when you get close to them. They're a really good fire base. They were kind of a unit looking for rules, and now they have those rules, right? Grot tanks are really scary. 10 rocket launches have never been so scary. Thank you, Nick. So there is, let's look at the buffs that you can get on your Mega Knobs. So you can get Sustained 1, Lethal Hits, which are both pretty good on Mega Knobs, and Counteract +1 to hit.
Sustained hits is the same as +1 to hit mathematically.
Yes, it is. Lethal Hits is not great because you're twin kill saws.
Yeah, you don't need lethal hits.
And then you go to AP5 on critical wounds. Those buffs are combined not as good as just flat +1 to hit.
Well, it's not only that, you don't really want to choose sustained hits because then you're hazardous in all your attacks, and then losing Mega Knobs to hazardous will completely bypass a lot of their defense, and that's like not the point.
Yep, so I looked down the line. There are no strats that I actually want to benefit Mega Knobs out of here. So the sustained hits one is as good as +1 to hit. Lethal hits is not good. The other one's not good. So you want to choose sustained hits, then you gain hazardous. Right. I would much rather be +1 to hit, no hazardous, with a war boss.
Yeah.
The only thing would be, do we want to take any enhancements? So you can give stealth to a unit of Mega Knobs, which is cute.
Stealth is a good rule. It's not a rule that I will ruin my unit's effectiveness over, but it's something to factor in.
Yes. There's one where you get to get a try-dat button better if you're shooting, which I don't love.
Mega Knobs don't be shooting.
Another one is ranged weapons get ignores cover, and yet I don't actually want any of these buffs to go on Mega Knobs, but I think it's good that we looked through them to make sure.
Sure. Okay, so I think we're still going to swap them out to war bosses, but it was a nice thought giving them the mech keyword. Definitely something we hadn't caught in the first glance.
Yeah, for sure. That's new Codex stuff.
So what about our vehicle suite? I think that's really what makes this detach the dread mob, right? Killicans and dreadnoughts and grot tanks, gorkanauts. What about all those?
So, yeah, I like the trucks with the Mega Knobs. That obviously stays. I think this Def Dread is the odd one out. The reason it's the odd one out is because it has this really weird loadout, right? 3 Dread Claws and a custom Mega Blasta.
Yeah.
So it's not particularly like shooty. It's not shooty at all, right? One custom Mega Blast is not getting the job done. It kind of hits hard in combat, but kind of not, and that's what you got the Gorkanaut and the Mega Knobs for anyway.
And Killicans too.
I think if you're going to take a Def Dread, I would just take 4 rocket launches, honestly.
I'm looking at the Def Dread at 130, and I know Killicans can come in 6-man, so I'm thinking to myself, why isn't that just 3 more bodies?
You know, that is an excellent question, and I think the answer is it just should be.
It just should be.
It just should be. So if we're elevating the Gorkanaut and the Grot tanks, I think 1 unit Grot tanks is fantastic, and if you own the models, you just want them.
You put the bottles in, they just shoot so hard in this detachment.
I am going to make this 2 units of 6 kilocans instead, because they really benefit from 1 CP minus 1 damage on an entire 6-man.
So what's the thought between 6-mans versus 3-mans? 3x3 is like a little bit of skirmishy. They're still units. They can punch above their weight class pretty well. Versus 6-mans is like a real unit.
Yeah, 6-mans are a real unit. We've got the unit Grot tanks and 2 units of kilocans looking to actually start controlling objectives. You got Clank and Claws. All the strats get better when your unit is a 6-man, right? If your unit's a 3-man, then you are going to be really inefficient. True, they don't like it. They're looking down from the Norkanaut heaven.
What is the orc heaven called?
I think it's just called
The Great Waaaagghhhhh in the sky.
The Great Waaaagghhhh in the sky. I don't actually know. That's a great question. I do believe we are back live though.
Okay. So let's get back into this list just to refresh us for where we were. We are fixing up Incinerators, Orc, Dread Mob. He's got. He had 2 Big Mechs and War Bosses in Big Mechs and Mega Armor. We turned them into War Bosses and Mega Armor. They're going to join these 5 Mega Knobs. And then we recently just got rid of a Dreadnought and turned 3x3 kilocans into 2x6 kilocans, netting us 3 more kilocan models, but costing us 2 units overall from our total unit count.
Yeah, we have less skirmish in this army, but we have a lot more efficient, like, use strat on unit, do good stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely more strat efficiency, but do we think that unit count is going to hurt us when we're trying to play missions and do that kind of stuff and deal with smaller problems on the table?
It very well could. Let me get this. I think we have like 15 points right now.
Yeah, we saved a few points cutting mega bosses and dreadnoughts.
Yeah, I want to see what we can do, because we can turn the Gorkanaut into a Morkanaut, and then this is a very like good list that doesn't have a lot of wiggle room in it.
What is the difference between a Gorkanaut and a Morkanaut?
The Morkanaut shoots harder and has a better invuln.
Those are 2 things I care about.
The Gorkanaut punch harder.
You don't need that. I mean, it's not bad. Punching harder is always good, but shooting harder for that kind of vehicle is better because you actually want to keep it at range and safer at a further distance.
It also shoots like. The Gorkanaut still shoots pretty hard. It has a 30-shot gun that turns into damage 2 with bigger shells for bigger gets.
Yeah.
Like, it's not nothing, but I do think the Morkanaut consistently does more damage, and with an better invuln at 295, I like it more. I do agree we probably want to start trying to solve our unit problem. That might be we just want 1 unit Mega Knobs.
Oh, I like 2 units of Mega Knobs. I was thinking like the Gorkanaut and the Grot tanks are kind of competing for the job they're trying to do. Like which one's going to receive all of the buffs, you know? Yeah,
that's fair. I think it's whichever one is pushing the angle our opponents are at.
Like you put one on one side, one on the other?
Yeah, I mean, we could turn this back into 6 3/3 kilocans and just have 2 little skirmishy kilocan units.
I can get behind that. I like 3-man kilocans. I don't think that's an easy unit to destroy.
No, especially not with 1 CP minus 1 damage. So if they're like, well, we're not going to try and kill the 6-man, and then they line everyone up to shoot at the 3-man, you're like, well, it's 1 CP.
Yeah, let's make sure we change the points too. But I was thinking, you got a suggestion from the chat about Storm Boys somewhere, and I do love Storm Boys. I think they're a great value add for 65 points. It's kind of tough to fit them in though, because like you can't just trade 10 Grots for a Storm Boy squad, and the points aren't working out otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely.
We could maybe change Boss Snickrot and one of the 2 Grot units to a Storm Boy squad, to 2 Storm Boy squads. I can get behind that.
You think so? Snickrot, I think you're actually going to really like Snickrot.
He's a lone op.
He became a lone op, and he teleports once a game in your movement phase.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty great.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
I
don't want to lose him actually.
No, I didn't think you actually did want to lose him.
I didn't realize he teleports. You know I love teleporting.
I know it's your thing. It's your thing, Nick.
I have a thing.
You have a thing. So I know that. Yeah. So when you draw the card, you get to see. Hey, guess what? I want to score it, and I want to score it over there. And then you can teleport him instead of having to do it at the end of your opponent's turn.
Holding your backfield for like a little while, doing some action-y type stuff, investigate some signals, and then boop, I'm over there, deploy teleport homers for 5.
Yeah. So I could be wrong, but it looks like we might have 70 points.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Truck.
Did you get the mech?
I did get the random mech. We got a Gorkanaut. We got 3 units of Gretchen, 8 Grot tanks, 12 kilocans, 2 units of Mega Knobs. Yeah. I think we have 70 points left.
Okay.
I don't know how that happened, but we did.
I think we can look at a lot of different things with that. We could just take 5 Storm Boys.
Yeah.
We could take...
I think 5 Storm Boys is quite solid here.
Yeah, just a little skirmishy unit, turn 1, go get area denial, go get deploy homers. I like that kind of thing. And it's fast, it hits it on objective. If he wants to advance and charge, it can beat up a 5-man small squad of stuff.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't like punch up, but it punches down, and that can be something you're looking for.
If your opponent's got like 4 Sisters of Silence barely holding on to an objective, send in the Storm Boys, you know. Things that like to hide behind walls from the big scary tanks can get punched by Storm Boys.
Yeah, and this keeps our Mega Knobs around, which I think is pretty good.
I think that I like the Mega Knobs. I don't really want them to go anywhere.
So we do have probably one more unit of Gretchen than we really need. I just don't see anything to do with them.
If we cut down to 1 squad of Gretchen, because I really think that's the minimum, not even 2 squads. If we cut down to 1 squad, can we do anything with the remaining 85 points?
Yes, we can. We can take a squad of Storm Boys and upgrade the Gorkanaut to a Markanaut.
Oh, I think that's the move right there.
Yeah, so the Gretchen just hold your home objective.
You can like pretend more Gretchen allows you to screen a larger section of your deployment zone, and it totally does. Like, I'm not trying to knock that. It's just like not a job I really want to pay a lot of points for if I can use those points for something better.
Yeah, two units for me is a luxury. 1 I think is pretty good. One is mandatory.
One is mandatory.
One is mandatory. 2 is like a nice luxury if I have the points. And what we did, I think we do get better things for cutting them.
So essentially what we've done in this list is we turned the big mechs from big mechs into war bosses to make the Mega Knobs hit harder. We've turned 2 units of Gretchen into 2 units of Storm Boys, which is like faster, screening, skirmish, all the same things 10 Grots would do, 5 Storm Boys can do, but they can do more. And then we've got the Gorkanaut upgraded to a Morkanaut, and we turned the Dreadnought into a unit of... the Dreadnought became 3 kilocans.
Which I do think, I do agree, I think that's better.
Yeah, I think this is like straight up improved list. I'm really happy with what the changes we made here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, thanks so much for submitting your list, Incinerator. And if any of you want to submit your list, please get in that war room, the warroom.vhx.tv, and the link below. And definitely, while you're there, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like the channel, you leave a comment. It really helps us keep doing what we're doing. And we love doing this for you. We love creating Warhammer content.
It's our favorite thing. We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't.
That's true.
It's not for the money, I tell you that.
So, what else does we have?
Well, what else do's we have? We've got the Green Tide from Danny 10,008.
The Green Tide. I love me some Green Tide, Jack. You know, boys mission play, we like that.
It's your favorite thing.
Yeah.
It's your favorite thing. Nick used to run like 30-man squads trying 8-inch charges out of the jump.
Oh yeah, we had 180 boys on the table back in the day.
That's right, and we actually played a game of Green Tide into Drukhari in the war room.
Well, that's true, and you know that one ended fairly well for the Orcs. So if you want to see different styles of Orc builds on our channel, we also have that.
Yep, we've played Bully Boys, we've played Green Tide, and we're going to be putting the mech detachment, the Dread Mob, on the table fairly soon.
Awesome,
yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely. So why don't you read me off what's in this list?
So we've got the Green Tide from Danny 1008. 0008. Pain Boy, Gazgal Thraka, a War Boss, Double Weird Boy, 1, 2, 3, 120 Orc Boys.
Yeah, the correct number, one might say.
Truck, a Battle Wagon, 10 Grots, a humble 3-man Mega Knob, and 2x5 Storm Boys.
All right, so this is a lot of boys.
Yeah, this is a lot of boys, a lot of pain. I love Gaz with the boys. Giving the 120 boys lethal hits seems like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah. So what's your first thought here?
So I think that Weird Boys and 105 are really good, but a little pricey. You definitely want at least one, so you can pick a unit up, put it over there, and have it charge something as you get higher into the battle rounds. You can use that plus to charge strat. I don't know that we want 2 because 105 is a lot. The Mega Knobs joined to Gaz. It's interesting because I believe that unit could actually fit in the Battle Wagon, or you could put 20 boys in. I'm not even sure if we need this Battle Wagon at all. I'm not even sure we need this truck at all. I kind of feel like this army kind of could foot slog, and we could put even more points into beef.
Oh yeah, Weird Boys are 55.
55. That makes me like Weird Boys so much better. Hey, typos. Okay.
I think that was probably just a I think that was the War Boss in Mega Armor with an enhancement that just got copy-paste errored in.
Beautiful. So at 55, I can get behind the weird boy, but I still think the battle wagon and the truck look like the things I don't know why they're here. Because the army is like, here are my sea of boys, and then this truck is like, I'm gonna try to drive around through my sea of boys, get shot because I'm a truck. I don't know what it's doing.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. So we're also under by 45 points.
That's good.
That could be enhancements, like straight up. Because the enhancements from Green Tide, there are some decent ones.
Yeah.
That is pretty decent. The Battle Wagon can hold 22 models, so like you can put a 20-man boy squad in there, but it gets wrapped without even like trying.
Yeah, I don't know that you're wrapping the battle wagon if it's like in the sea of boys, because to get physically around the wagon, you have to get around the boys. But I just don't see what the wagon is doing for 20 boys. Like, there's 100 around the wagon. What's the 20 being protected in the wagon accomplishing?
I assume that's the War Boss Pain Boy unit. Like, I just assume that that's the unit they want to deliver.
They want to deliver that one because it hits harder. It's got Feel No Pain. I feel like Green Tide should have 3 Pain Boys, Jack.
It just should. It also probably should have 3 Weird Boys.
Why 3 weird boys?
Because they teleport you around the board. Yeah. You also run out of characters that you want to put in boys, right? And they do teleport you around, and that is very nice later in the game. As the game happens, you get to teleport, go plus like 3, plus 4 to charge.
But you can only do 1 per turn, right?
You can only do 1 per turn, but one of them is going to die to something dumb. One of them is going to teleport on like turn 2, and the other one runs to teleport on like turn 4 or 5.
So I was thinking, what if we have 6 units of boys, 3 get joined by Pain Boys, 3 get joined by War Bosses, and 60 of them hit hard, and 60 of them have Feel No Pain. And there'll be like maybe 2 weird boys just kind of literally walking around your backfield and then just tossing boys. Does it have to jump its own unit, I guess is the question?
It does have to jump its own unit. Now they can run around by themselves and jump themselves, which limited utility.
Yeah,
but
right.
The thing I want to check is, can you join, I know you can join a War Boss to a Pain Boy unit, right? You can have them both in the same unit. Can you join a War Boss and a Weird Boy to the same unit?
Yeah.
That is the question. And the answer is no. So you can't actually have them in the same unit, unfortunately. A Pain Boy specifically says, or maybe it's under boys. I hate how they template these things. You attach 2 leader units only if one of them is a War Boss. So yes, you can attach a Weird Boy and a War Boss to the same unit.
Okay, so that seems good.
That seems pretty decent.
So I feel like we're going to really take 3 Pain Boys for sure, because Feel No Pain on 60 bodies is Feel No Pain on 60 bodies. And then I feel like we're definitely going to take 3 War Bosses, because you want your boys to actually hit people really hard. And then 2 to 3 Weird Boys, that's dealer's choice on that one in my mind, but they're definitely good.
I don't think we need necessarily to have 3 after playing with it, but oh god, it's going green. I mean, that's fine, right? It's Green Tide.
Green Orks, Green Tide. It should go green.
The big question here is, do we need Mr. Gazgul Thraka?
Oh, lethal hits, Jack, and he himself is the murder machine. He is the boss.
Oh, in the great tech debacle of 10 minutes ago, we had a super chat.
Oh, yay! Sorry we missed you, but we're here now. Thank you so much, Maori, for a $5 super chat. Have you looked at Grot Mega Tanks versus Grot Tanks yet? Sorry for joining late. No problem. Sorry, Mr. Super Chat.
Let me look up what a Grot Mega Tank does.
It's different than a Grot Tank because it's mega.
The problem is I've looked at every data sheet that this army has, but I also have forgotten them because they're very similar.
One of the things I disdain for the Orks, no offense here, folks, is that they have the same model 65 times, and it's got like a different gun strapped to the same hull, and it's just a lot.
So a Grot Mega Tank moves 8, is toughness 9 with 3 up and 12 wounds. OC 4, weirdly enough, that's not bad. It is only 110 points, and it comes with some guns.
Yeah.
Oh god, you can pick from a lot of different things. You can pick twin rocket launchers, really. 110.
110. So it's not that bad. It's about like a third of the cost of the Grot Tanks.
It has like 20 shots at 9 inches at 501. It all hits on 4s, so I suppose you could make a hit on 3s with a mech, which is not bad. Its guns are pretty mediocre except for twin rocket launches, which I suppose you can take 2 of. I don't love it. I mean, it is 4 shots. It's only 110. You can give it plus when it hits, so it hits on 3s. The twin rocket launchers are twin linked. I think it's just too low number of shots.
It's the 20 shots in strength 5, AP 0, 1 damage. Is just like not that exciting. You could buff it up. You're playing Dreadnought, but you can buff up a Gorkanaut or something instead, and you're just going to do that. So this guy is largely playing with his detachment rule, and it's just not that exciting.
Now, I will say, is a decent bundle of OC and stats for 110 points.
But you know what else is a decent bundle of OC and stats for 110? Like every single buggy.
That's true. Or killicans.
Or like everything in this faction.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's not like a unique qualifier for it.
But if you want to take it, I don't think you're trolling by putting
No,
it in the
it's
list.
like a decent unit for sure.
All right, so back to the Green Tide.
Back to the Green Tide. So I really just want to like take these boys, make the boys as awesome as possible, and like walk around with that.
Absolutely. Gaz is the real question here. Do we want Gazgul Thraka? He is expensive. It's why there's the Mega Knobs in here. They can't go in a battle wagon. They're on foot.
They join Gaz and the Mega Knobs. It's like a sort of tough to kill unit. With Feeling Pain on the wall, it is a tough to kill unit. And then Gaz himself hits him like a murder machine, and all the boys get lethal hits.
All the boys get lethal hits. Now, they don't have like re-rolls or anything, and they don't have critical 5s like they would in the Warhorde. But I struggle to think that he's worth it for 335 or 325 in this list.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't view him in the Mega Knobs. I guess it's one big unit, but they are two different things. Like, so you get 4 bodies and, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I think he's worth it. But what are you trying to do instead?
So what we can do is we can take a Mega Knob unit that is insanely durable. Because there's an enhancement that you can take that treats your unit as always being 10 or more models.
Yeah.
And if you take that enhancement and you treat your unit as always being 10 or more models, they get reroll 1s to their saving throws.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good, especially on a unit with a 2-up armor save.
Yeah.
Now, it's not 2-up re-rolling because your opponent is likely going to have AP, but if it's AP2 or if it's AP1 or AP0,
it is 2-up re-rolling.
It is a 2-up reroll at that point.
Yeah.
And if it's AP2, it's a 3-up re-rolling 1s, then you have a 4-up Feel No Pain for 1 battle round in there.
And this is, of course, assuming cover.
This is, of course, assuming cover. So if they ignore your cover, it's something else.
Or it's combat, yeah.
Or combat, yeah. But still, always having reroll 1s, and then you have the Big Mech to res a guy, means that that unit is just standing in a spot for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely do that. That definitely takes the list into more of a defense mode where you're just trying to like hold objectives with boys and Mega Knobs as opposed to an offense mode. I'm totally good with that. I think defense for a mission play army like this is perfectly fine. I just love the Gaz, man.
Listen, I love Gaz too.
There was going to be a time, perhaps the Green Tide.
Big Mech in Mega Armor.
See, there is a place for this little man.
Let me see if there's an enhancement somewhere around here I can snag. Oh, there is. Don't worry about this. Is the next list. Don't worry about it.
Why?
All right. So he doesn't have a teleporter. He has, I think, Raucous Warcaller. Don't quote me on that. Raucous Warcaller. I'm so good at this.
Quoted him.
You should quote me on that. So.
Okay. So then, how many points does he become?
So the Big Mech and Mega Armor base is 85.
Yes.
And because we don't have an MFM for the points costs of these enhancements, we're just going to go off of the actual ones we have in the back of the book, which is 20. So that guy is 105 total.
Okay. So that definitely, we still have points left because we just dropped Gaz. But we're going to turn this into a 6-man Mega Nub, I imagine.
Yes. I want more dudes. I want to try this unit because I think this unit is.
Yeah. At this point,
really
now I kind of actually like the Battle Wagon because this unit can go into it.
Yes, it can. It can get delivered somewhere.
It'll solve the speed problem that these Mega Knobs really suffer from.
Absolutely. The truck, on the other hand, I really just don't see.
I do not understand this truck.
I don't know what's going in it. I'm not about it.
Yeah.
So with those changes, I cut Gaz. I'm going to put in a Big Mech and Mega Armor and put in some Pain Boys, right? And let's add another War Boss, shall we?
Yeah, let's. I want triple War Bosses in this army because we need to hit people playing Orks.
Yeah, and that was my game with Green Tide because I found it didn't hit that hard. We do want to lean into that. I didn't take quite as many War Bosses as one is allowed to take.
Yeah. I got a question about why not put the Mega Knobs in the truck by just cutting into a 5-man Mega Knob. You totally could, and it'll reduce the profile of your vehicle, which is pretty nice. I just like, if you're going to go for the defense package, I think you want as many bodies as you can. Just go for the Battle Wagon and do the whole thing.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, you don't want to lose them all to the wound and be like, if only I had an extra guy.
Yeah, right.
That would not be fun. I promise you that. So currently we are over by 85.
85. What an awkward number.
Yeah. We've added a lot of characters.
I like that though.
This is all right, fair enough.
85.
I mean, 85 could be 2 squads of Storm Boys become a squad of Gretchen, and we land right on.
But I like the Storm Boys. I feel like this army needs a little bit of speed to supplement the
Probably does.
the slowness of 120 boys.
Yeah. It could also be some characters go away.
It could just be 10 boys go away.
It could be 10 boys. Is that what you're feeling? Because that's 85.
That's exactly 85. I mean, is 120, 110 the same?
It's pretty close.
It's close.
It's pretty close.
It's definitely not removing a tool, right? Like removing the Storm Boys is removing like your army's ability to move quickly.
And you still sticky objectives with these guys.
Yeah, removing 10 boys is kind of the principal point, like how you have how many boys, but it's not, it's just a critical mass thing. It's a linear amount of reduction. I think it's okay.
Well, now we have a unit to go in a truck.
We're not putting the truck back.
We
could put the truck back.
No, we're not putting the truck back, Nick.
Okay, we don't need the truck.
We don't need the truck.
These 10 boys can like help your grots or like be some small skirmish thing. I don't know what these 10 boys are doing, but they're there and it's fine.
You might actually be able to put the Storm Boys in the battle wagon alongside the Mega Knobs. You might not. You end up with some ridiculous stuff in battle wagons, because battle wagons big, thick. Every mega armor or jump pack takes up the space of 2, so no, not quite. Yeah. You're 2 over.
That's okay.
That's fine. You put the mega knobs in the battle wagon and you drink it all up.
Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with this. I think you could use a little more refinement, maybe after some playtesting, but as an initial list for Green Tide, I think this is a great template.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You have units that hit hard, are survivable, really annoying to kill, and then I really want to try out the Big Mech with the Mega Knobs with Raucous Warcaller. I think it's pretty solid. Now, the one thing I will say is I kind of want to make a couple extra points.
Yeah, for what?
For an enhancement that you roll a die at the start of your command phase, and on a 5-up you gain a CP. But if he's in a 10 or more strong unit, it's on a 3-up.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So every turn, it's brutal but cunning.
And how many points is brutal but cunning?
It is, I think we are 5 points under here. Brutal but cunning is 25.
25. So it's not easy to get in there.
It would be 1 squad of Storm Boys becomes Gretchen. What do you think is better?
It could also be the last 10 boys that we just turned into become 5 more Storm Boys and the enhancement.
That works.
I don't love 100 boys. I do think 100 boys is when you're cutting too many corners. I could be wrong.
It could also just be that we don't take the enhancement.
I'm open also to cutting the battle wagon entirely, letting the Mega Knobs just walk around as the tough people they are, and then we get up to 20 boys again, we get that enhancement again, and we get a 3rd Storm Boy squad.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Could you just start the Mega Knobs on the line? Like, what is your opponent going to do? Shoot at that instead of your boys?
I mean, the weapons that are good into Mega Knobs are probably not the weapons that are good into boys, so like, yes.
Well, we're just going to ignore that you said that.
I mean, you can put them behind terrain and like move advance for a turn, and then call the Waaaagghhhhh, and then you're good to go.
Yeah,
so,
I think you can run them up behind terrain pretty good.
Yeah, it's 1 unit. I think you can, because the boys don't care about terrain. I mean, they do, but you are not hiding 120 boys. Let's not lie to ourselves. So somebody's getting shot. Don't let it be the Mega Knobs if they have weapons like Triple Caladius and Canis Rex.
You also very much, I think, want CP in this build. Mm-hmm. So I'm willing to try that.
I think this is solid. I think it kind of flows to me nicer. I know the battle wagon had a specific purpose, and I like that, but now we are not cutting corners. Triple Storm Boys is just nice. You really have a lot of problem solved with Triple Storm Boys, and I like that we have 1 actually durable unit.
Yeah, and what I like is that the Mega Knobs are 285. Mm-hmm. I really don't want them to be 400 and, you know, 45 points.
6 Mega Knobs and the Big Mech and Mega Armor cost as much as just gas.
Yeah, no, what I mean is the transport for them makes them cost like 445.
Oh, yeah, and the battle wagon's not doing much for this army.
No, it's not really doing too much.
It's literally like a deployment tool for the Mega Knobs, and that's just too much.
Yeah, so I'm actually pretty happy with this.
Because like, if you think about it in terms of just points versus points, like a battle wagon is the same as 20 Orks, and that's just not, we're taking 20 Orks, it's the Green Tide.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I do like that I don't think we need to go above 2 weird boys, but I like 2.
Let's just confirm that this list is actually 2,000 points.
Yeah, it's tough to do it with the enhancements, so let me just do that.
Do the good old calculations.
Oh yeah, man, this is new Codex life.
New Codex life.
New Codex
One day they'll fix
life.
the app, but that'll be when the Codex releases.
Yeah, when it actually comes out. Luckily, I know that 120 boys is 1020.
Oh, math.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Plus 40 plus 180 plus we are definitely over.
Okay,
We're definitely over.
So
we're over by 80.
80.
I think that's just.
I think we just go back to 110 and we forget all those ideas.
I don't want to know the math that led to one battle wagon became all that stuff, but it's fine.
That's okay. So this is 110 boys, still the same thing principally. I'm totally good with that.
Yeah, I think this is basically the same list.
All right. Thanks so much for that one, Danny. And for the folks at home, why don't you like and subscribe and leave a comment, because it really helps us keep doing this channel.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Danny, let us know how this works out for you, and we're into the last list.
All right. Dem bully boys! You knew this was coming.
Of course.
We all knew
Of course this is coming. Nick loves bully boys.
Yeah, he does.
It's his favorite detachment, so why don't you tell us what it does?
So the bully boys call the Waaaagghhhhh twice. Not once, but twice. And why that's so powerful is because you're going to make your army out of Mega Knobs and Knobs who benefit from that. And then Mega Knobs, specifically when the Waaaagghhhhh is up, get for a Feel of Pain. And it's for 2 battle rounds. Specifically battle rounds 2 and 3 if you plan your game plan properly. And then your opponent cannot kill your Mega Knobs unless they're playing Caladius and Canis Rex. And then you just chompy chonky chonka bomb.
That's right. You just chop a chop chop with the twin kill saws and the power claws and sluggas. You just get in there and you start cutting. And they don't like that. They don't like that at all.
They don't like that at all. Mega Knobs, like there are memes all over the internet about how good these things are, but they're not wrong. Like these things are insanity. Like
they're really good.
Yeah. So we've got Boss Snickrot, Ghazghkull Thraka, 1, 2, 3 war bosses regular, 2 war bosses in mega armor. One's got the teleporter. Then we've got 1, 2, 3 trucks. 2 units of Gretchen, 3 units of 5 Mega Knobs, specifically 5, not 6 Mega Knobs, so they can all hop into the truck with an attached character. 1 unit of 10 regular knobs, 2 units of 5 regular knobs. All of them are Totem Power Claws. That's a lot of Power Claws.
It's a fair few.
Fair few. And 2x5 Storm Boys to round us out, because you gotta have your Storm Boys. They're just good.
Yeah, absolutely. So the main thing I notice here is that I just don't think we have enough transports for all this beef.
Yeah, I think there's a few things I'm seeing here. 1, Ghazghkull with the Mega Knobs, totally good. They're walking around. Then we've got 2 war bosses in Mega Arbor and Mega Knobs. Then we've got 10 knobs and 2x5 knobs. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4 units that want to go in transports. I guess 1 teleports, 1 walks around with Gaz, and then 1 goes in a truck, and then the knobs go in a truck, and then 2x5 go in a truck is the idea.
Let me see if you can put, I think it's 12 models in a truck, but if it's 11, I'd feel really silly.
I'm pretty sure it's 12.
I'm pretty sure it's 12 as well. So just continue it like that.
Gaz and 5 Mega Knobs literally just walk around. I feel like that wants to be a 6-man because it's not going in a truck either way. A 5-man with a dude who's teleporting that also wants to be a 6-man, and then man's in a truck. Big knobs in a truck, 2x5 knobs in a truck. I kind of like it. I could see that working. I like more trucks in general. I feel like 3 trucks is not enough to get truck army going, but you can hide 3 trucks.
You gotta get trucking on them. Yeah, so I really like the inclusion of Boss Snickrot in the in the Bully Boys list. I kind of wish I'd written it into my Bully Boys list when I played it. But yeah, I would have done it. I think he's really, really good, so I like the inclusion there. I don't necessarily know if Ghazghkull is pulling his weight here. He's definitely, if he's going to pull his weight anywhere, it's probably going to be in Bully Boys where you double Waaagh. But the lethal hits or it doesn't matter as much.
No, that's where I don't think Gaz does much for Bully Boys. Ironically, I know he gets better on the Waaaagh turn. Everybody Waaaagh twice, very synergistic. I got it. But lethal hits does not matter when you are strength 14 twin linked. It is an irrelevant rule. And then all your knobs are strength 9, goes strength 10. They actually sort of appreciate lethal hits, but is hitting stuff actually the problem at all?
It isn't really. Gaz makes his unit hit much harder because you have lethal 5s, which again doesn't matter if you're twin kill saws, and then +1 to hit, +1 to wound, but +1 to hit something a war boss does.
I think I'd rather have Ghazghkull be a war boss because missing is where the Mega Knobs mess it up.
Yes. Yeah, well he gives him +1 to hit anyway.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
okay. And then you also get reroll hits as a strat, so it's not.
Yeah, so where I think Ghazghkull shines the best is in the War Horde.
Yeah.
The old Waaaagh tribe.
Oh, that's the one.
That's the one where you get crit 5s and they have sustained, and so it's critical sustained 5s.
Becoming lethal 5s.
Lethal sustained 5s to an aura and his unit.
That's when you just charge someone 20 orcs and you're like, here's 120 attacks, good sir, and you're dead.
Yeah. So Gaz, I think in the War Horde, very good. In Bully Boys, I think it's just a little
It's extra.
It's a little.
There's a lot
extra.
of synergy there. He's a big mega boss. He's the big mega boss. I totally get why he's there, but from a competitive standpoint, I don't actually think he pulls his weight.
He's also super cool. I think jot that down.
I wanted him in the Green Tide, Jack. I think we're fixing 3 orc lists and we're taking Gaz out of all of them. What are we doing here? This is why the orc community hates us.
There's a lot of reasons for that, I'm sure. But yeah, I think in the Warhorde, he really pulls his weight there, and I think he's awesome in that list. In Bully Boys, I just kind of want a War Boss in Mega Armor and like 150 more points of stuff. This list is crying out for more transports. Stuff
is where I felt I went awry yesterday. I've only played 1 game with Bully Boys, and I just hated how few units I had. I just kind of took stuff to the face, and you're good for that for 2 turns on the Mega Knobs, but not only are you good on that with 2 turns on the Mega Knobs, but you have nothing else to interact with the rest of the table. If it's not a mission where you control 3 objectives and call it a W, you're really going to struggle to catch small problems.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, Teleporter is 25, so doing the mental calculations, we have 160 points left.
160. We want to run that through a calculator. Calculations, we've been off twice now.
I think the app's got me, hopefully.
Okay, so 160 points after we cut Mr. Gaz. We've got 3 Mega Bosses, 3 Knobs, or 3 units of Mega Knobs. We've got 3 War Bosses and 3 units of regular Knobs. With 160, there's a lot of different ways we can go. What are you thinking, Jack?
What I really want is I want a couple more Mega Knobs, because the 5-man units...
The 5-mans are making you angry?
I think if you're planning to put them in trucks, which is perfectly viable, I think we just take 1 extra, because the Teleporter unit can just be a 6-man.
Can be a 6-man, yeah.
And we're looking for weight of guys there. So that would make us 130. After that, I'm really looking for a little bit more in the transport department.
So let's take 1 more truck, because now the Gas Squad is no longer walking on foot. We have 2 5-man Mega Knobs in trucks. We're going to have a 10-man knob in a truck, and we're going to have another 2 5-mans in the 4th truck. So that takes a good chunk out of our points left. We should have about 75 left.
It should be, yes, 65.
65. Okay, so
65 is Storm Boys.
I mean, you know I like
truck.
my Storm Boys. What do we do with another truck? What is the 5th truck doing for us?
So we've got Mega Knobs, Knobs, and then 2x5 knobs. It really doesn't help us there, not unless we're looking to split up these knobs at all.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure that that's something we're planning to do. We could take these knobs down to a 5-man, get another truck, so we're going 3 units. We have 5 trucks which do secondaries as well.
Yeah.
Stand on objectives as well, and also aren't all your eggs in one basket. That's one thing I don't.
Yeah, I do like not putting all your eggs in one basket. But what do we think about actually taking a Pain Boy with our remaining points and putting it in with that 10-man knob squad?
So the Pain Boy is instead of a War Boss, but I don't hate it anyway. Let's go through that, because that's something I've actually been thinking about. So if we go to the knobs, let me just make sure that's correct. Yes, you cannot join anyone to this unless, you can't join double.
Yeah,
can't join 2.
That's a boys thing.
So Pain Boy can join the unit, does not give them +1 to hit, but maybe that's your target for full rerolls to hit.
Right, kind of by design.
Yeah, and he does give them a 5-up Feel No Pain.
I love that. And I found my knobs a little fragile, to be honest.
They were. Now, Draxus is queen, and we love her.
Damage 2 exists in this game.
It does exist. So he does some random nonsense that doesn't particularly matter, but he gives them a 5-up Feel No Pain, and once a game he brings D3 of them back, which can mean that if you lost 5 dudes, you go up to 7, now your charge is way easier to something. I don't hate that. You are basically pre-committing that you're going to give this unit reroll hits. Or, listen to me here, or you could take Big Choppas on them. And those hit on 3's base. They are strength. They are worse, but if you're not +1 to hit, maybe they're not. Let's analyze the math here. Big Choppas. I'm just going to say on the wall.
Yeah,
right?
you're walking twice.
You're walking twice. 4 attacks at 8-1-2, they hit on 3's base, or 4 attacks at 10-2-2, they hit on 4's.
I think I want 10-2-2 that hit on 4s.
Okay.
AP1 is not it. Strength 8 versus 10 is a significant difference in when you're punching tanks and things. I mean, you have Mega Knobs that hit very hard, but I just think you want more.
That's fair. So in that case, I think you take the Power Claws if we're planning on taking a Pain Boy.
Yeah.
And you just
reroll hits.
You just pre-commit your spend the reroll hits.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing, a Pain Boy is more expensive than a War Boss.
We have points.
Also, if you take the War Boss out of the unit, they lose their -1 to wound if your strength is higher than their toughness.
That's a little annoying. It's not being led by any character.
No, it's specifically a war boss. They don't really care about the Pain Boy. Pain Boy keeps them topped up, but they're not going to defend
I think it's a bit side grady at that point.
It is.
So I'm not in love with that change like I initially was. Feeling the Pain will go a really long way in this unit. I could definitely see bringing it down to a 5-man, putting the truck in like you were just suggesting. That gives us a few more points back. But then what do we do with like the now 100 points we would have?
Yeah, so that would be we'd have 110. And what we could do for that is include 10 more Gretchen and 5 Storm Boys.
More stuff.
More stuff.
I think that's better. I think the problem with Bully Boys that people will try to use against you is that they're going to try to outmaneuver you because you are relatively slow. Your army is made of 6 real squads, and 2 of them are pretty easy to kill. These 5-man knobs are not that tough. And there's no fly. It's an outmaneuverable army. And since you're not going to just kill it with most factions, you're going to attempt that strategy. So anything you can do to try to pin them in a little bit more, have some mission play, and not allow them to just beat you on the mission like that goes a long way.
It does. I think there's a completely separate direction that I don't think we're going for here, but I'm probably going to explore in the future, which is, what if I just go, hey, I have 18 mega knobs and 30 knobs. All of the knobs have a Pain Boy in them.
Yeah.
And then this army is just thick as a brick.
You can definitely make Bully Boys into quite the stat check.
Yeah. What if your stats got checked real hard?
Yeah. Instead of that, I think we're going for a more balanced approach. Time will tell as to what is the most effective method for running this detachment. But I think
this is a lot of stuff.
You know, I'm a big fan of more stuff instead of better stuff.
Of course, I know Nick hates good stuff. He hates good bits, even.
I love good bits.
No, you hate the good bits.
You saw how excited I was when my Grots found them yesterday?
That's true.
Why are you talking smack?
All right, let me just put this in and make sure that we're all good. We have 25 points of enhancements. Big Gob is pretty good, but I'm not gonna cut anything to put it in. Big Gob is a battle shock check at the start of the fight phase for every engaged range of the bearer.
That's nice in like very niche specific situations. Like when someone's trying to come in on you and then they want to use their stratagem to reroll hits, reroll wounds, whatever their pain train does, and then you're like, take a battle shock. Oops, you failed. Now you're in O0 C and you can't use strats. Time to die.
Time to get punched. All right, this list is 1995. I think this is a good version of the what if Bully Boys had more stuff.
I love Bully Boys with more stuff. I definitely, in my one game so far, have felt the complete lack of stuff being a problem. Part of that is my own play style clashing with not having enough units, but, you know, I'm a big fan of the stuff.
Absolutely. So I think this is a good way to go. Another way might be like a more durable, skewy kind of way, and time will tell what people end up going with.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully you all enjoyed this episode of Fix My List. Thank you, Mike Walsh, for submitting your hero of the people. Cheers to you. And everybody, hope you enjoyed this episode. We're back every single week with competitive 40K content. Next week, you'll notice might be the Custodies week. We got Golden Boys tier list coming out on Tuesday. We've got a game every Wednesday. We've got another Fix My List every Thursday. And if that's not enough content for, or you want more specific content focused on helping you get better, learn the game, and become your best, check out the link in the description below. Really helps us continue growing our platform here. And you can subscribe, like the video, leave a comment. And that's it for now, folks. Thank you so much for watching.
Absolutely. And if you want to see more Orky detachments and Fix My List, I'm looking at you in the comments, Adrian. Just check back next time we do a Fix My List Xenos. That shouldn't be more than a couple weeks. And we're definitely going to be looking for whole new detachments we haven't put on stream before.
Awesome. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We will catch you later.
Bye-bye.